Loud and clear.
Okay, 1 minute, please. Okay. All right. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for coming tonight. I am Dr. Tolulope Olawale, and even though I'm not a weak star per se, I am a weak star mama, right? As they always say. So I am excited to be here, and I do hope that what I'm going to be sharing today would also encourage and inspire you one way or another for you to know some of the things that we've been up to within the academy. Yes. All right. So I'm talking today on the Growth Weekly Challenge. This is something that we've been doing within the academy since we started. Remember, I mentioned yesterday that this academy launched in January. And as the founder of this academy, one thing that was really heavy upon my heart was that we had to be going through a growth challenge every week. And not just every week, but every day. You may just be wondering, so Dr. T, what exactly is a weekly growth challenge? I'm about to unveil it to you. But just before I do that, I want you to know that Aristotle actually said something. He said that we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And so because of what we had in mind of achieving within this academy was for us to build ourselves, our lives around habits that are good, habits that can make us to become better versions of ourselves. And Jim Rohn also says that your life does not get better by chance, it gets better by change. So it is the change that you put into your life that you eventually end up seeing at the end of the day. And of course, our famous John Maxwell says that small disciplines repeated with consistency every day lead to great achievements gained slowly over time. If only we can improve our lives by just 1% improvement in that, or 3% improvement in that book, Atomic Habits. But if you do it every day, you will be amazed and surprised at the changes you're going to see in your life. So remember that what we've been doing, this recap has been like what we have been learning within the academy. And what I'm also about to show you is something that we've been implementing within this academy. And every one of us have been loving it, including myself, Dr. T. So if you are wondering what our weekly growth challenges, these growth challenges are just things about journaling, reflections that are based on our monthly workshop themes. Yesterday, someone recapped about two week stars actually recapped about the January monthly workshop, what we did within that workshop. And then you just heard from the second team that also recapped about the February workshop. So what we do is that around all of these workshops, remember that this academy is built on phases, and these phases are built upon what were monthly workshops. Around these workshops, we come up with these challenges that help us to live intentionally. So even though they are weekly challenges, they're about like a 7-day intentional living challenge. So these are things that you have to do every day. And the goal of it is for us to begin to have this gradual mindset shift around our life, around our time, around ourselves, and even around others, where we begin to think about what exactly am I here on earth for? So why these weekly growth challenges? Every week when we do this challenge meets us where we are, but it never leaves us the same. Even when we start it every week, by the end of the week, you see that there are things that you have learned, there are things that have literally transformed you. And why do we do that? Because we want to align our actions with the person that we know we are becoming. Remember, as I said around our quote, when you persistently and consistently do something, you're going to see changes over time. And then when we go on for this challenge for 2 weeks, at the end of every 2 weeks, we pause and we personalize. We don't just go off, we pause and personalize, we reflect, we talk about the things we want to pick in, the habits we want to drop, the things that are working for us and what is not working for us. We rub minds with our accountability partners. We do a lot of things within that, that extra 1 week after the 2 weeks, but that's basically what we do. And for the past 8 weeks, yes, we've been doing these challenges for 8 weeks now, but you see right here, we have challenges for week 1 and 2 because week 3 was first and personalized. We also have for week 4 and 5. Week 6 was first and personalized, and then we have for 7 and 8. For the very first week, we did a gratitude challenge, a 7-day gratitude challenge. The second week was about spiritual routine reset because remember, around that time we were talking about mind, body, spirit alignment. laying the right foundation for your future, for solid growth. Then the fourth week, and then the third week, we did pause and personalize. Then for the fourth week, we did move and nourish your body, because your body is the vehicle that has to get things done. And if you don't take care of your body, there is nothing you're going to be able to achieve for yourself. And then in the fifth week, we did a daily digital detox. Oh my goodness, that was hard. And then we did our pause and personalize again. We picked things from all of the other weeks we've been doing. We tried to like personalize it to know what exactly is working for us. What do I want to pick going forward, and what do I want to drop? Then for week 7, we did a catch up and review, and that was when we were paired with our accountability partners, except for Dr. T that did not get one. But all the WIGStars are paired up and they have the accountability partners. And then for week 8, we've been practicing. And even for, I think for the next couple of weeks, all we're just doing will be practicing all of these habits that we have picked from week 1 up to week 8. So this is just what our weekly challenges have looked like from week 1 to week 8, and just showing you a snapshot of what it is. Of course, you're wondering, Dr. T, how do you get this done? Trust me, guys, we have a personalized workbook that we use for this. And then, this workbook is nicely designed and nicely done. It has a journaling part in it, which is fillable. And so when every WIGStar gets it, they're able to fill into all of these columns. Of course, by the end of the year, we'll probably be getting the hard copy of this book. So, at that point, we're not just going to be filling virtually, we're going to be filling by hand. But for right now, all we just do is just like fill it in and then send in our snapshots and all. So for that week 1, where we talked about gratitude challenge, we looked at, for each day, there was something to do. Gratitude for yourself, gratitude in nature, gratitude for opportunities, gratitude for even things that did not go that you hoped for, but eventually did not happen. We did a lot of things. And then another snapshot, this is just what the challenges look like. So for spiritual routine reset, we did a lot of things within 7 days. For the pause and personalize, we did a lot of things in 7 days. For move and nourish your body, yes, we're taking walks, we're playing and hydrating, we're eating vegetables, we're dancing, we're just doing things and just taking intentional steps. And, not just intentional steps, but really trying to stay committed, because you are in a community. And the goal is that we want to grow. We want our mind, bodies, and spirit to be aligned with each other. And I remember when we did the daily digital detox, oh my goodness, it was hard. Like, people were like, Dr. T, wow, why are you making us do this? We did things like going tech-free for 2 or 3 hours every day, where you're not even allowed to pick up your phone, and you have to report, no, not pick up your phone, but like be on maybe like, all of the social medias that could be a distraction. But even when you take away your phones and all of these devices, what are you doing with your time? At that point now, we're thinking of strategic journaling. What are you, are you being able to connect with God and ask God what he wants you to do for your life? Are you getting creative? Are you spending time with face-to-face connections, those around you? What kind of like thinking? And every challenge became a doorway into better versions of ourselves. And of course, at the end of every challenge, all the participants get a closing, heartfelt, and motivational note from Dr. T, which is always different every week. I'm there to motivate them, to tell them how they've done and how I'm so proud of them and how they have to keep moving. They cannot afford to give up. And of course, everyone has really, 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 the feedback has been amazing. And I want to show you guys just a few of it. So these are some of the impacts based on what we've heard from the participant, because of course they have to submit these challenges every week. So by Sunday they have to turn it in, and then there's a feedback form where they have to fill and tell us what has been happening. And of course I put their initials here, but someone says, gratitude led me outside. I reconnected with nature and with myself. I took walks, snapped pictures, and let my creativity breathe again. Another person says, this challenge helped me reflect and appreciate the little things in my life. Someone says, there is always something to be grateful for. You just have to look. Someone says, gratitude is a choice, and it helped me to shift my perspective. Even on overwhelming days, I've become more appreciative of the little things I used to take for granted. These are some feedbacks from the WIGStars. This is not from Dr. T. Dr. T's feedback, if I have to put my feedback here, we're not going to leave this place, because of course, I also do these weekly challenges with the WIGStars, and it also transforms and changes my, my entire perspective about life. Another person says that auditing my time and building a routine helped me to do more with less. It's a game changer. I felt a deeper connection with my inner self. I'm more calm, clear, and centered. This week pulled me within, closer to God and closer to myself. The quiet moments said the most. Feeling more at peace and more productive during the day. This week's challenge kept me on my toes and I liked it. These are some of the feedback from the participants. And when we also asked them for their biggest takeaways, from all of these challenges, some were like, I realized my routine was all screens and indoors. Stepping outside brought calm and clarity. I need more of that. I have noticed the real shift, less negativity, more self-awareness and gratitude is finally becoming a habit. Real growth is not always in the rush. Sometimes it shows up when you slow down and just look within. I told myself, move your body regularly, and I did. I was sweating, moving, and actually enjoyed it. These are all feedback from participants. Another person says, I learned the power of slowing down. Reflection helps me see what is working and what is not. This week was full of energy. I started a beginner-friendly workout, and it feels good to be moving. I have become more appreciative of the little things I used to take for granted. Guys, are you hearing all of this feedback from participants, from the WIGStars? And for me, the biggest stories that actually moved me the most, just hearing from them was someone said that it was hard to step out. I'm usually indoors, but walking helped clear my head. It broke my routine, gave me fresh air, and reminded me I need moments like that more often. Another says, I went back to my notes from week 1 and literally said, wow. Reflecting helped me see how much I have grown just within 8 weeks. Someone says, going on walks with my kids this week made the challenge even more special. We bonded and laughed together. Another says that the digital detox challenge helped me to stay away from my device and focus on important things. My day was in order. We'll never just realize how much of our time other things are taken away until we truly slow down and reconnect with ourselves. And that is what this academy is all about. Another person says it felt like a cleansing experience. And the best part, I got to bond with my loved ones through it. Having an accountability partner pushed me. Sharing my goals made me more intentional because everybody had to be paired up with accountability partners. And another says that I have started building habits like meditation, digital detox, and mindful eating. Yes, mindful eating. I am not perfect, but I am growing, and that is what matters. I don't know about you guys, but whenever I hear that, it warms my heart to see what God is doing in our midst and how much people are being changed and being transformed over time. And that tells me what makes this academy very special. This is not a place where there is perfection. We choose progress over perfection, progress every day. Believe me, for the past 3 months, we've been at this, and you see everything that the WIGStars have been presenting. This is all from them. I mean, all of the recaps has been them just pouring out the things that they are taking away from this academy so far. And I always tell them, we're right at the point of the year where many people forget about their New Year resolution or some of the goals that they put on their vision board. But because we are within this safe and supportive community, we're actually able to grow. We're not just growing, but we're having faith-centered transformation, because that is what this academy is built upon. There is real accountability. People are able to work together. You see WIGStars coming together to make presentations, and you see how much God is doing in their lives. Then we also have these practical challenges. We're not doing things that are so far-fetched. We're doing things that we have to do to help us become better versions of ourselves. And most importantly, access to resources. Dr. T has a lot of resources to share with the WIGStars. Having this fillable PDF just helps them in so much way to be able to personalize and journal through this entire journey, not just alone, but with people by their side. So where am I going with this? What am I trying to tell you? I'm just telling you that imagine we've only done 8 weeks, and you can see what 8 weeks has done. You can see the kind of mindset shift that people have had in 8 weeks. This academy runs for 1 year. Now imagine what 1 year can do. Guys, I'm telling you, there are more cohorts coming. This is a yearly thing. By the time this cohort ends this end of the year, next year another cohort will be coming in, and you can actually sponsor not one, not two. You can sponsor as many participants as you can into this academy. You can start your sponsorship now, because we already have a plan in place, to give some form of part scholarship. And yes, there are even WIGStars that are within this academy that are currently being sponsored by generosity of other people. You can join the movement. This is just the beginning, and we're not just building a bit for ourselves, but we are building a legacy that will eventually outlive us. We are taking baby steps. So you see this image, I love it so much because it tells us that when you water a seed, it grows up to become a tree that is planted, that is rooted, that cannot just be uprooted by the storms of life. And that is exactly what we are doing within this academy. So thank you. Thank you for letting me share this journey with you. Even though I'm not a WIGStar, but I'm here to just like recap what every WIGStar has learned and what their feedback has been so far since this academy started. And these are the pictures of our amazing WIGStars whom you have been seeing taking things here in this academy. Thank you so much. And I am here to answer any question in the chat box if you have any for me. God bless you. Over to you guys.
Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you, Dr. T. While you were presenting, I was saying, oh, she actually made a perfect summary of what happened in our growth challenge. Yes, resources, Dr. T has it, and I'm still wondering, like I said in the chat box, I'm still wondering how she does this thing. Thank you so much once again, Dr. T. Thank you to the two teams that actually presented. And now it's time to hear from you. We want to get feedback from you on the two recap. Share your thoughts, your feedback.